We're talking about what it means to be creative these days, a very appropriate subject considering that Cannes is currently underway. Joining me to discuss this issue is Chris Primos. He is the managing partner of Blast Brand Cataylsts. Chris, a warm welcome.
Thank you.
Creative is a wide, open-ended term and quite subjective. What does it mean to be creative?
Here we are sitting here while everybody creative supposedly is in Cannes at the moment, being inspired and winning awards. My sense of what a creative agency is today has to be a lot more than just what comes out of a creative studio. I think we need to show value to our clients in very many different creative ways, be that strategically or through client service and the way we think and apply ourselves. So I think a creative agency is much broader, much wider than just a very achieved and very well awarded creative department.
How are issues like budget constraints and media evolution affecting the makeup and deliverables of a creative agency?
Well, that's just it. I think agencies are under a lot of pressure to deliver value, and I think that's, that pressure comes from the way it is manifested in how we have to think for our clients' business these days. Thinking creatively, laterally, means being able to sit at a client's meeting room and be able to deliver creative solutions at the table, being able to think for the client's business strategically before we even get to a brief that goes into a creative studio.
Creative, strategic, operational, these are all terms that marketing and advertising businesses use to posture and differentiate, presumably because they've decided to niche themselves in one way or another. What really determines how creative, strategic or operationally sound you are?
Well, a track record would be good. But I think there's something to be said for the caliber of the team that you have on a piece of business. You know, you can be with a big agency or a small agency, but it really is the core team of people that work on your business and the way they interact and the way they can think creatively to deliver better value for the client's sales and bottom line.
Increasingly, we're seeing more creative people run agencies. Is someone of creative legacy the right person to run a business? Yes, I'd love to believe so, because I'd love to believe that certainly in advertising we are in a creative business, and why not have somebody who has come through the creative line to be actually running the business, whether or not you have fun at management accounts and reading balance sheets, I don't know, but it certainly would, I think, stand any business in good stead, particularly in this very challenging technical environment in which we are now, technology environment, where things change just about every day, and we need to be able to be thinking on our feet. And people who have that lateral talent and skill would add huge value at boardroom level. Where everything's a rule of measure, a factor and algorithm, are clients still looking for creative input?
Yeah. Yes, I think there's a misnomer that that machines can take over, and they can be clever, and they can give you data, and they can be more immediate. But essentially, we're human beings. We want stories. We want to be entertained. We want to be seduced.
So digital engineering's never going to be taken over.
It's a big part. It's a big part of it, and that's the media environment in which we work now. But we want to be real. We still want to have a heartbeat somewhere in the middle.
From a client perspective, should they be evaluating agencies in terms of how many awards they've won? And are you a better creative agency if you've won more awards? And then adding to that, how important is it that not just that you win creative awards, but also that you win effectiveness awards?
Yes, I think all clients would agree with you there. It's an important, I think it's a very inspiring and very important thing that there are things like awards. It galvanizes the competition. And it's fun. It's great to be acknowledged and to do great stuff. But I think right at the beginning of our discussion was what is a creative agency today? And I think creativeness has to go much more beyond just the work. I mean, to get to a good piece of work, if you put a great brief in, you'll get good work out. And it's so important to have the rest of the team who are likewise all rowing in the same direction and thinking creatively for the client's business.
Is advertising still the same as we know it?
Thank God, no. It's changing all the time, and that's what makes it interesting. Yes, there's always going to be a room for concept, something that averts attention, something that is just clever and inspires, and it just turns something on its head. But certainly the media environment, again, it's very open-ended. Things are very exciting, very different, challenging. Also to be able to do what we do and then still be able to measure and show effectiveness with our clients.
Very briefly, Chris,
yes.
What's an idea of a client's creativity is probably very different from how an ad agency sees it. How should clients get the best out of their ad agency? What advice would you give?
Well, I've always believed the best relationship you can have with your client is a client you can fight with for the right reasons. And I think once a relationship has embedded with client and agency, then I think clients should get the agency more involved and closer to the business. Product development even. Get your agency to get into your stores, take a tour of your factories, understand the product, and not just be clever in a studio and imagine who the target market is and have that conversation. I think there's a lot more that clever, creative, laterally thinking people can offer their clients than just put a great piece of work on the table.
Chris Primos from Blast Brand Cataylsts, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Lynette. Thanks.